Hi guys. What's up? Okay. Okay. Think I got it all right now. Right, little Zen dog? There we go. There we go. To mess with that stuff a bunch to get it working. There we go. Alrighty. Hey there, Sir Women Respecter. What's up? You're eating Wendy's? Not a huge fan of Wendy's. It's alright. Sick of it. Alex loves Wendy's. Sucks. I was really trying to start my stream earlier. Kept running into issues though that needed to be taken care of. Right, Zinny? I have to get up super early tomorrow. Not looking forward to it. Not a morning person at all. I probably should put my contact shit. Should I have my contacts in? I'm probably fine. It'll be alright. Why are you not connected? Stupid thing. There we go. Hey there. Chilling in Canada. Oh, and hi, Crystal Sage, if I didn't say anything. Zenyatta, huh? She doesn't appreciate that. Doesn't appreciate it. Yeah, am I playing with your foot? I went and got food today, and the lady at the drive-thru gave her a fry, and she thought she was so cute. Then she gave her another fry, and then like 2 minutes later, she threw up. 2 big fries was too much because she threw up in my car on the floor. Then she was kind enough, though, at least to eat up the majority of the throw up before we got home. So I guess there's that, right? least she was willing to clean up her mistake. Ate the big fry a little too fast. Paid the price. She was a good girl and she fixed it. Did her best anyways. She tried. I've seen worse. I know. 2 fries really is not much. Not much at all. Pretty weak. Not much at all. Okay. Oh, let's see. Ugh, so not looking forward to tomorrow. What game am I going to play? I think I haven't decided yet. Maybe Tribes of Midgard. Maybe something else. Where is this stuff? Cannot find it. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's not working though. It'll work on here. Session expired. Please. Please. Okay. What do you guys think I should play? Chicken strips and french fry basket. Does Wendy's has that? Does it sound right? Does this work? Nuts, things. Did work. It's not supposed to make noise, though. Yeah. I really wanted to get in the hot tub tonight, honestly, but I was like, I feel like I'd stay up too late if I got in the hot tub. I was worried about that. Cause damn, getting up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Ugh. It's gonna suck. I haven't discussed it yet. I was waiting until more people got here. Because the reason I'm going to discuss it is because I have jury duty tomorrow. So, that's why I have to get up at 7 a.m. It's annoying because usually my schedule is be up till 4 or 5 a.m. at least. Why can't they have, like, I don't mind doing jury duty, but it's not illegal. Why? This is exactly why it needs to be talked about. Because there's so much bullshit out there about it. It is not illegal. It is not illegal. Don't say stupid things. Don't say stupid shit. Hi there, Obsidian. Jury nullification is absolutely legal. In fact, there's a recently passed law that allows defense attorneys to inform jurors about jury nullification. That one was passed in New Hampshire, I think. I'd have to double check on the actual state it was passed in, but yes. Jury nullification is not only legal, but something everyone should understand and be aware of. What's the name of my cat? Oh my gosh. Her name's Zinni. Definitely not a cat. Alright, so okay. Oh yeah. Today's empires, is that so? Appreciate that. I will start talking about jury nullification here, though, because it is something you do have to tiptoe around to an extent. Not because it's illegal, though. First off, what is jury nullification? Jury nullification is essentially you're saying you know that someone is guilty of whatever law was broken, but you choose not to convict them because you think the law is unjust. There's been a lot of historical precedent for this in not only the US, but a lot of other countries. A lot of other countries, they're a lot more upfront about it too. It's often a way that outdated laws get essentially annulled without having to have Congress or something like that get involved. And it can be a lot more powerful than that too. You can't, some people try and use it to get out of jury duty, which you can do. There's a good chance that it will get you out of it. But the way you should handle it is you don't talk about it in any of the like pre-trial whatever, all the talks, and then you can discuss it with your jurors later on. But yes, a judge, if you do say that you're gonna you refuse to recognize the validity of a law, or maybe that if you say the specific words jury nullification, they could potentially have you removed, or they could ask you not to say that again. A judge could. But yeah, that's worst case scenario. It's not illegal. The most they can do is say, please don't talk about that. And I mean, if you continue talking about it, sure, that's, if you ever do something, if a judge ever directly asks you to do something and you just straight up ignore that, that's essentially that judge placing a gag order on you about a certain topic. And if you choose to flagrantly disregard that, then yes, you can be held in contempt of court. But not just for talking about it. There's absolutely nothing illegal about it. It's an excellent part of the law that very few people are aware of. Far more people should make use of. Because there's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of misinformation out there about it too. Some people want to act like, oh my gosh, it's the the worst thing in the world to possibly say you're going to get thrown in prison for talking about it. It's fear-mongering by the people who don't want you to use something that's perfectly valid to do within our justice system. So, I'm not going to tell them, if when they ask me questions, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm, all about jury nullification. But if it comes down to it, if it really depends what the case is, right? I have no idea what the case is going to be. But there are a lot of laws out there that I think are bullshit. A lot of penalties that I think are unjust. So, if, for example, it was a marijuana case, no fucking way I would, if ever, I would die before ever like convicting anyone of that. Doesn't matter how guilty they were, never would I convict. Same would go for any vice crime. Anything that's a victimless crime, prostitution, whatever. All that nonsense out there. Nope. Would not convict anyone of that. I'm trying to think, there's some scenarios where I would, I guess, but in general, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of what goes on in courts and prisons and all that stuff. I make you feel like a mix between Chuck E. Cheese and giant cotton candy. I mean, I'll take that as a compliment, I guess, but is it? War on drugs? Yep. Fuck the war on drugs. Hi there, Feroz David. So, oh my gosh, just let me change this shit. Why won't it let me change it? Such a hater. So, there you guys go. Jury nullification. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. People might hate me for it, but I'm okay with that. Again, it does depend it's going to depend what the actual case is that so in what context would jury notification or nullification ever be illegal? The only context it could be illegal is if you lie. You'd have to lie somehow, and you have to phrase things carefully if you're going to do it, because if you lie, you can be held in contempt. And the same goes if, a judge asks you, puts a gag order on you, essentially, by saying you can't talk about it, and you disregard that. That's the only things that are illegal. There's nothing legal. It's free speech. And essentially all jury nullification is delivering a not guilty verdict. You don't have to give your reasons for that. So the only way it could be illegal is if you're talking about it a bunch and they tell you you can't do that and you disregard that. But there's really nothing that's going to happen because of that. You can get held in contempt. It was I actually professor who I TA'd for in college. He was a psychology and law professor. I really liked him. He was my favorite professor. I did TA for him in upper level psychology and law course, and he was a really interesting guy. He actually, before he switched over to more like psychology and law areas, he was like an besides being a professor, was like an expert witness all the time. That was a big thing he did. And before he also was big in working on the Innocence Project. If you aren't aware, it's the organization that works to get innocent people out of prison, because there's a lot of them, and our justice system is so fucked up that even if it's like undeniably true, like someone got convicted like 30 years ago of a crime for DNA evidence, and then they have absolutely conclusive DNA evidence now that the person did not do it, they still can't get out of prison. It's like it's insane. Just because you can prove someone absolutely is innocent now doesn't fucking get you out of prison. It's a huge process. Take 10 plus years in some cases just from there, even if you have absolutely every, no matter how much evidence comes out. It's insane. So he does that. And also before that, he actually was the one who polygraphed Ted Bundy, the serial killer. He used to be a polygrapher for the government, and he did that back in his youth. And one thing he talked about, jury nullification a lot too in his course, and it was something he recommended people do. He said he'd always go in for jury duty whenever he got it, and he always just make sure no one gets convicted. So I've always taken that to heart too. Hi there. Why are all the users taken? If you advocate for nullification in a jury room, isn't that considered jury tampering? No. Not at all. It depends on the area and the case you're on. But in general, there's nothing wrong with it. But the worst that could happen is a juror could go and tattle on the judge to you, and it could potentially get you removed from the case. That's worst case scenario, you get kicked off the jury, basically. And it depends on different laws, different states. It also matters, whether it's a civil case or a criminal case, what kind of case it is. It varies, right? But that's worst case scenario. That's all that could happen. Hi, Neuron. So, now you know, I guess. I guess, I mean, I can't say for certain that I'm gonna, like, no matter what, jury nullification, but I think there's a lot of scenarios where I would not convict someone. What stage should you consider never openly discussing nullification? I mean, I think you're probably fine most places. I think I read something about California being the one where they have like some kind of weird things going on with jury nullification. Some recent laws that were passed. Still not like illegal. There's nothing, again, worst that's going to happen is you're going to get kicked off, right? I mean, and some people use it that way too. They go up when they're interviewing you and stuff, like they talk about jury nullification. It can get you, it's a way to get out of jury duty. So, certainly not illegal, but it can get you out of it. So, I mean, I guess depends what your goals are. If you want to get out of jury duty, talk about it wherever. If you want to just not get people convicted, then in general you don't talk about it. You just do it. Games do I play? A lot of different games. Mostly, I've been playing, I don't know, I almost do a different one every stream. Last three I played were like Tribes of Midgard, Valheim, and Deathstorm. Am I trans? Yeah. Of course I am. What gave it away? The thing that says like trans right at the beginning of the title. You know what? I'm like starting to think my internet might actually be fixed now. Which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Where's my thing? What am I looking at? There we go. Thank you. There's a nice dress. I was debating wearing this one too. Jury duty. I don't know what I'm gonna wear though. What's this live for? It's for, if you read the title, it says chatting with viewers, and then in discussing jury nullification and trans issues. Ask me anything. Gaming later. You searched PUBG Live? Oh my gosh. Well, that's definitely not me. I've never played PUBG, so it's hard to imagine that I came up for PUBG Live. I mean, like, what? Why? No way. I don't even believe you, dude. Don't even believe you. I make the dress look good? Thanks. I like dresses. My little doggy. I got all my paperwork in yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, to get the underwriting process started for my mortgage loan. I'm fingers crossed. Everything's good. I hate the wait because I'm nervous to actually start putting in offers to houses and stuff until I've got like a firm loan, basically, till they've completed the underwriting process. Because it's hard for me to believe that they're willing to give me that much fucking money. It's just really weird. Never expected to be able to get a house without my parents' help or anything. Just completely by myself seems a little crazy. Still in disbelief of that. Fingers crossed, though. I'm hoping. Hi there, Flying Woodchuck of Doom. That's a pretty sweet name. I've got my glasses on tonight. It's been a while since I wore my glasses. I feel like I used to like my glasses a lot, and now I feel like I don't really like them. And I do worse with my glasses, too. And I was thinking about getting LASIK. So much money. Am I feeling alone? No. Why would I feel alone? Got my dog. Maiden name on your mother's side. It's good maiden name. At that point, should just become the family name, right? Whoever married your mom made a huge mistake in not taking that name. Obviously. Pretty dumb. Oh yeah, she will be too. This dog is vicious. Vicious killer right here. Vicious attack dog. Vicious. Right, Zen? Yeah. You like the blank? Hey, thanks for the follow. Robert Kenny Wilson and Nick Hill. Thank you. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Not much at all. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Where is it? What breed is my dog? She is a Chihuahua mini pincher mix, and I love her. I used to hate her, but now I love her. Mm-hmm. Where is this? I don't know how to use this shit. Some of it. Okay. Where is this? Oh, wow. Okay. No, I think I figured it out. Bookmarks. Oh, there we go. Got that in there. Actually, a long time ago, playing Counter-Strike. Too much caffeine. Very obscure reference. My imune's going pretty well. Could be worse. She is a cutie. Hey, JV. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm gonna grab another drink real quick. I need to change the camera angle so I can actually dance. Right? Little dancing pup. You want to dance? Dance, dog. And there we go. Maybe they'll kick me off the jury for having blue and purple hair. She is very chill. I put her in charge of the stream whenever I need to go pee. She takes over for me. I just set her on my chair and she doesn't move. Come here. Hi. Dancing dog. Dancing dog. She's very responsible. She's gonna love having a new house if I actually do manage to get one. Do I play Minecraft? No. I play Valheim. I play adult Minecraft. Oh. Sorry. I've actually never tried Minecraft. Maybe I would actually like it, since I like Valheim. I don't know. Such a good girl. Oh. I'm seriously dreading waking up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. It's my nightmare. It's my nightmare. Kill me now. Follow button. My follows don't even make a sound though, so like doesn't even really matter, right? So I appreciated the support, I guess. Great game. Perfect for your ADHD. Hyper focus. Notice 6 hours have passed. Ginked by goblins. I have ADHD too. I've always been able to like hyper focus on games though, as long as I'm into them. The house hunting isn't going very well. Well, it's just, I don't know. It's sad. There's such mixed feelings. I wish I could have got one earlier, like just a little bit earlier, because it would be so much cheaper. Prices are insane right now, and I don't really care about any of that though. Mostly, I'm just not looking, because until I actually get through the underwriting process, it doesn't really feel like there's a point. I haven't gone to any houses. I just look at them online to get an idea. My real estate agent keeps bugging me to go look at some. I'm like, just waiting till my underwriting process goes through, because if it doesn't go through, there's no point, right? Just a waste of time, waste of everyone's time. So just waiting. It's still crazy how nice of a house I could potentially get though. even though it's like way, like my options are way shittier than they would have been just a short time ago, it's still pretty nice what I'm able to get. So, can't complain too much. Just gotta be patient though. See how it all pans out. Because they could change my amount too. In underwriting, my loan could potentially, I don't know if it can go up, but it definitely could go down. So if it goes down, then I need to definitely change what houses I'm looking at. Which is why I'm just, chilling and being patient mostly. Sucks waiting because I really want to go get after it. Go get one ASAP, but just gotta wait. I mean, it'd be pretty cool if things line up, but I'm skeptical still. I am skeptical. It doesn't feel possible. It's like me own a house. I just never saw that. Seems just too far-fetched to be true. Without any help from anyone. Not even from like a partner or anything. No help. No co-signers, no assistance whatsoever. Seems crazy. I don't have like any friends who own houses, It's weird to think of me as being the responsible one. Now, kind of. I don't know. Just weird. Know the feeling? Yeah. I've had a lot of surreal experiences lately, though, so I guess this would just be another one. In due time, I'll get where. Where do I need to go? I mean, all I need is for the underwriting process to go through. Then I'll believe it. But until that happens, I don't really believe it. Don't believe it. It'd be a pretty insane turnaround, though, for me. Especially time-wise. It was not very long ago that I was just basically completely fucked. Basically just completely fucked. Depressed. No job. no way to get a job, never leaving the house, couldn't afford health care, which is what I needed to be able to get myself out. No one who cared enough to help me get health care. Just huge debt, zero income, zero savings, nothing. That was like, fuck. Two and a half years ago, maybe like not quite 3, less than 3 years ago. And has not been very long. It's crazy what actually just having access, I had been like that a long time too. If I just had access to healthcare sooner, I could have gotten to where I'm at like so much earlier. But I just couldn't afford it. That's the problem. The healthcare system and just some of the fucked up things in general, right? Struggles with being trans too, I guess. So, yeah. It's not long ago. And to be where I'm at now with like through transition and all these savings and everything in such a short amount of time is pretty crazy. Never expected. It's like be buying a house potentially in that short amount of time. Can you pet the puppy? I don't know. Can you? There you go, buddy. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Lay down. Go on. There you go. Bureaucratic long waits. Yeah. Nothing compares to the bureaucracy of being trans, that's for sure. Thanks, Flying Woodchuck of Doom. Really? Your name's You Will Never Be a Woman? Yeah. Somehow, I've got a feeling. Got a feeling. My glasses, they have too much glare. It makes it so you can't see my eye color. My 2 different color eyes. Head on. Two shades of cool? Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it. You're glad I've overcome such obstacles. Says a lot about you. Thank you. I've definitely been through some shit. Been through some shit in my life. From being kidnapped as a kid. Big clap trap. That's from Borderlands. How am I doing today? Pretty good. Outside of, like, I want to go to jury duty tomorrow, but I fucking hate that I have to get up at 7 a.m. So pissed about that. Why can't they just make jury duty at like 5 p.m.? Doesn't that make more sense than people don't need to miss work and shit too for most people? Seems better. And I've risen like the phoenix. I mean, I guess you could say that. I don't need surgeries to be you. Yeah. Don't need to change yourself. You might regret it. I've already. I no longer have a penis. It is gone. Been removed. Almost did that as a kid. Myself. I had plans for it and everything. Did a lot of research and had it all worked out to do. Only thing that stopped me was like lowering results of surgery later on. Surgery is absolutely something that is needed for people with extreme levels of gender dysphoria like I had. If you had any idea what it feels like to just constantly want to hate something on your body so much like that you just want to cut it off. Like, it's pretty absurd for anyone to like tell me, oh, I don't need that. How fucking ignorant are you? How cocky and arrogant of a person are you to say that too, really? Like, you really think about it, like, how the fuck would you know? No one's forcing you to do it, you know? Doesn't affect you in the slightest, so why worry? Best way to get out of jury duty is to want to be on jury duty? Well, you didn't see my discussions earlier then, huh? About jury nullification, because yeah, I do plan on probably doing some of that. I could get out of it if I wanted to. I don't want to though. And getting out of it doesn't help me. I still have to get up and go there at 8 a.m., that's the part that I hate, you know? I have to wake up at 7 a.m. I'm already there. Might as well fucking do it, right? What's... Thanks, Prince Adam. Hi there. You've never done jury duty and you'd rather not? Well, you should do jury duty. Why not? I think it's a good thing to do it. I just wish it didn't have to be so fucking early in the morning. No consideration for us night people. Just give some night trials. Come on. There's got to be some night judges, too. Why does the entire world have to be shaped around day fucking people? That's some bullshit right there, I'll tell you. I look amazing in my flower dress. Thank you. I like this one. You know what's awesome too? It's got pockets. Dresses with pockets are the best. Smoking weed before the trial? I mean, I guess you do that. Why not? Gang sunk that dunker. I have no idea what that means. Neurotypical, so bad with flexibility. I mean, I get why we did it, right? Why we used to revolve our lives around the sun. That's because we didn't have technology. We didn't have lights. We didn't have, like, all these things out there that give us the means to no longer have to do it that way. Because, you know, night people have far higher IQs. They're far more likely to basically explore things outside the norms, right? They're the rebels, basically. They're smarter, they try things, you know, like almost every creative geniuses, modern geniuses or night people, that sort of stuff, but they also will typically make less money. They will have more psychological issues. And it's sort of a chicken or the egg scenario too. Like, are they that way? Like, you know, do they have more psychological issues? Do they have these problems? They're trying these things, and is that because they have the disorders, or do they have the disorders because they're different? And that's what causes the issues. You know, like their society is not shaped around them. Society shuns night people in general. You know, we're a very day people focused society. If you aren't, you have to be willing to conform to that, like at least to some extent, to like, otherwise what? You can never go to the doctor for an appointment. Like, there's things you have to do that are within day people time frames, right? And that's just how it works. And so, I don't know. Something I think about a lot, though, as an extreme night person who's always been that way. I mean, I was that way as a kid. I was, you know, when I was 8 or 9 years old, I'd be up in my bed reading a book until 3 or 4 a.m., even though I had to get up for school at 7 a.m. That was always how it was, because I like the night. some bullshit for real. You're an underachiever. I'm an underachiever too. Being abused as a child lead to being trans, I think. Oh my gosh. That's a good one. Do you love it when people like espouse opinions with zero like research? Like, oh dude, just look it up. It's not that's like not a hard fact to verify. Like, just being abused as a child increase your likelihood of being trans. You can look that up. Plenty of studies out there know. Easily verifiable fact. Imagine if every business ran 24/7, wouldn't that just open up more jobs? I don't think they all need to do that, but I just think there needs to be some options, right? Why are there no night doctors? Or, night banks, night whatever. Like, why not? Why not be some of them to serve the night people? Like, why does society have to be just totally revolving around the day people? Why can't there be like two societies, I guess, right? Like, or just really it would be like more one ongoing in society, right? And it would benefit everyone, right? Then sometimes, like day people will like have shit that comes up at night. They forgot to do something, like, oh fuck, forgot to go to the bank today, or they needed to do something important and could have an option. I don't know. It's just weird to me that there's so many businesses where you absolutely, outside of those like tight daylight hours, there's no fucking way you could ever deal with them, which is annoying because when I'm on the night schedule, it's like it just makes life harder, especially if you have a lot of those kinds of appointments and stuff to deal with, especially when you're trans or whatever. It can be, I've got a lot of daytime shit I've got to deal with because there's no options outside of dealing with it then. Just, it does make life harder. Sucks. How come? Imagine all the people who could be hired for nights and businesses could make more profits running nonstop. I don't think so. More complicated than that, but I do think there are solutions out there. Our brains work differently. We are the weird energy stuck in a world of fossil fuels. Or the wind energy. Stuck in a world of fossil, yeah. See that? I just don't think that's right. I'm not saying yeah. You are right, G-Sean. It's more complicated than that, right? I always went to bed too late. But for me, apparently, it's ADHD. Well, kind of, Eugendo, but it's more complicated than that too, most likely, right? It's one of those which came first things. Because people who are night people typically have a lot more disorders, mental health problems, but they also have much higher IQs. They also tend to be far more creative. There's a lot. It's a complicated thing to work out all the stuff too, are people night people because they're smarter, because they have those tendencies, rebellious instincts to pull away from general society and be different, and then does that cause disorders, or are they doing that because of disorders, because you're saying like because of ADHD, and like, is it because of ADHD though? Because ADHD doesn't necessarily keep you up later either. So I have ADHD too, but you're just theory crafting, yeah. One society with different shifts. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. A society that never ends. Yep. Generally really bad to health in a long run. Well, not really. There's nothing wrong with, like, there's no health problems with being a night person, Just need enough vitamin D or whatever. Lack of sun, but other than that, just no health issues. Problem with supply and demand. Supply increases, so does price. So they eventually need less customers, right? Imagine the freedom of choosing to live your life during the night or day. I think that would be pretty fucking rad, wouldn't it? If, like, you could just decide, like, hey, I'm a night person, and it's actually totally possible to just live your life that way, because you know what? Like, all my friends, like, almost anyone that I've ever been close with, they've all been night people too. Those are the people I connect with, right? My friends and I, like, often talk about that, we just refer to, like, armies or whatever as, like, gay people, basically, because that's never been me or any of my friends. Just a different crowd at night and different kinds of people. It's not that I can't get along with people or whatever, it's just I generally will connect a lot more. There's some exceptions, but night people, even beyond lifestyle, just personality wise, will tend to have more in common. That is because night is for demons and ungodly things. Or at least that was the reasoning back in the day. Well, back in the day, the reasoning was there was no light. Like in early cultures and stuff, before electricity, all that, it made sense, because you gotta be up in the day to hunt, to work on crops, to do that stuff. So, like, it made sense, right? It doesn't anymore, though. And even back then, there were night people, right? Those people existed even in those cultures. They just had even fewer options than we do, right? We have more options, far more options than anyone in any point of history has before us, but still our options are limited, more than I think they should be, I guess. You're imagining a make-believe utopia. Yeah, me too. I haven't really, like, thought about this, I guess, before. It was like a actual society of night people, but be pretty sweet. Refreshing reflections and observations. Thanks, Flying Woodchuck. Why would you remove your ability to stand up and pee? It's like not even a consideration. Although I will tell you, it has been annoying on more than a few occasions having to fucking squat and pee when I'm like outside or something. I had to do it like not too long ago walking back from a bar. It's like walking, I really had to pee and I was like, fuck. Go find a dumpster or something to go behind. It's so much harder. But that is like a distant consideration. Distant compared to everything else. Easier to focus when not overstimulated with bright sunlight surroundings. That and the noise. For me, I really like the fact that night is so much more quiet, right? So much more quiet. So much less people around. Benefit for me. No sun. Honestly, the sun is not good for you, right? Sun causes damage. It's part of the reason I have like such great skin and everything too, you know? I don't get sun. So I don't have all that sun damage. Most people do. They say it's common for ADHD to have a late onset of melatonin. I just got used to fall asleep. I'm going to be exhausted and completely at night. Sticking with sleep hygiene helps me, won't lie. Yeah. I take melatonin every night to sleep. Part of what I've always done. To maintain a regular schedule somewhat. When I was working, I definitely did it. Like when I was working early mornings and stuff, had to do that. But yeah, maybe for the night people, humanity could invent sleeping in the sun or something. No. What do I think about people changing race? I think it's stupid. That's what I think. That is obviously nonsense. Stupid nonsense. Just like anyone who wants to be a vampire or a wolf or whatever. I mean, it makes those kinds of things are making mockeries of actual social movements like trans issues, gay rights in general, you know. Hi there, K9C Air. Special beds that allow you to sleep during the day while absorbing everything you need from the sun. Well, the sun's actually bad for you, you know? Sun's not good for you. Not really. The camera is a bit tilted. Yeah, I have it tilted because my monitor is really tall. If I just put it on there straight, it like I had to like position it. Can I? Hi there, Silverzen. Can you cut yours off before I teen? You want to send it to a I have no idea what you're talking about. Talking about your penis? Sure. Do that. Mine's on a necklace. Can't show it on stream, obviously, but had mine made into a necklace. Has anyone heard of the deadly Roomba? No. You're autistic too. You're such an thank you, Shooter Mickey. You like the sun. Have issues with the moon. But I walk in the moon still. Never had a problem with the sun in Moscow too. Now in Cali you look like a vampire. As soon as Elon Musk hooks us up to the Matrix and be whoever we want to be. Maybe. Hi there. Be in Africa. Welcome back. I'm just reading the comments that are on the screen. If you watch those. For what shows up for me. I need another drink. Oh, do I need another drink? Because no way I'm going to be able to get to sleep tonight. To wake up at 7 a.m. Ugh. It's probably just like a hopeless thing for me, right? That's how we started on this whole day and night person thing, since I have to get up at 7 a.m. and bullshit just pisses me off. Because it fucks up, it's going to fuck up my whole schedule, right? Got a schedule I do, and sucks that it's catered towards the day people. Grabbing another drink. Right, Zenny? Good doggy. You're gonna go spy on your sister now. You guys can't see that on my screen. Don't you see it? Go spy on my sister now on the chat box. Yeah, I try. I get behind, but I try and read things regardless of where they come from. Even if they're in messages to me or whatever. You know? Not a vampire, but under the sun in Long Beach, you've spontaneously combusted a few times. Nice. Jury duty sucks? Well, no it doesn't. It sucks that it's in the morning, but jury duty is something I am looking forward to. They'll probably kick me off, sadly. We'll see. We'll see. It'll depend what the case is, but I'm more than happy to do it. And I guess you weren't here earlier, JRG, because, what I was discussing was jury nullification. Because of the fact that I'm going to have jury duty tomorrow. And for those of you who are here and aren't aware, or not here earlier, jury nullification is essentially the practice of, even if someone's guilty of something, like they clearly did the crime, but you either don't agree with the law or you don't agree with the punishments for the law, think they're too harsh, whatever, you can choose to, render a not guilty verdict. That's jury nullification. And I'm a big fan of that, because I think a lot of punishments are too harsh, and I think a lot of laws in general are bullshit. Vice crimes, fuck that. No one should be going into prison for marijuana. No one should be dealing with criminal records for prostitution, whatever. Anything that is a victimless crime, definitely should not be a law. So I would never convict anyone for that, even if they did it. That's jury nullification, which is allowed because they don't explain it that way to you. They don't make it seem that way, They tell you you're just supposed to decide whether this person did it or not. But in reality, you have a third choice. You can say, okay, I know they did it, but I think this law is unjust. So not guilty. Maybe I'll get lucky and get an interesting case. Yeah. I mean, who knows what'll happen, right? Probably won't be an interesting case, but at the very least, I feel like I could at least make someone's life better. Maybe. I mean, I'm not, if they're just like a garbage, like if it's clearly just bad, I'd be like, all right. Guilty. If it was some dude who just straight up went and just murdered kids, over and over again, or raped them, whatever, I'd be like, all right, fuck this dude, actually. On screen, but not in chat. Okay. Got jury data 19 never got again. I don't think it will be for a traffic ticket. Is not something that can go to jury trial, I don't think, since it's a violation. It's not criminal. Actually, I don't know how. I mean, I guess I just don't think anyone would, probably. Take it there. I don't think they do a jury trial for that, since it's not criminal. They can be civil suits, but a traffic ticket also is not a civil suit. I don't think either. It's not classified as that. It's just a what's the word I'm looking for? Just a violation. So not a misdemeanor. It has to be a misdemeanor or a felony to be criminal. It's too bad I can't go to my friend's trial. I'd like to be at his. My friend, let me check if there's been any updates to his case. He's my best friend from the dorms. He was up here visiting me recently, hanging out with me and all my other friends and everything, like having a get together again and all that. And he's been really doing well and got his life back on track again and everything. He's a really smart guy, but he has had troubles. He's also a person of color and has had a history with the police. There's been high levels of discrimination against him here that I've seen. And so he got a DUI 2 weeks ago or something like that, and he called me. I was the only one that picked up, I guess. Or, I mean, he didn't even call his family. His family had to call me to find out where he was. But called me and, said he was in prison or jail at Piet, and he had gotten a DUI and needed someone to come bail him out. It's like an hour and 10-minute drive away. So I was like, all right, I'll come get you tomorrow morning. Tell me how much money I need, And then he calls me in the morning and he says his his bail, because they weren't setting bail until the next morning, his bail was set at $250,000. $250,000. So it's like, all right, well, not coming to get you. And so he's pretty fucked. He's still been in prison or jail for the past 2 weeks, and his court case has been shaking out. It's insane, though, that they would do that. Like, he didn't do anything. Like, it was just a DUI. Wasn't even an excessive DUI. They charged him just with a DUI and open container. And what I don't understand is, technically, it's his third DUI, but he hasn't had a DUI in like 10 years or something. The two he got were both when he was like a young kid, very young. And he hasn't had one since until then. And somehow they're charging him with felony and $250,000 in bail. Like, there's definitely, pretty sure there's some discrimination going on because he is not white. Like, some of the shit, like, you guys know Autumn. You saw Autumn on my stream, right? She got a really bad DUI. She got an excessive. She hit someone. It, like, destroyed both their cars. And when the police arrested her, like, she was, like, swinging at them, saying, "Fuck you, pigs." She tried to escape. When they got her, like, in the hospital, too, for alcohol poisoning or something, potentially, too, she, like, kept trying to escape. She was just, like, trying to swing at officers. And with all that, she got it, like, you know. Pretty little white girl, got like basically all that stricken, removed, got like bare minimum everything, never even had to go to jail for a night or anything, you know. But someone who's not white, who's like a big guy, yeah, definitely a different justice system for them. Traffic violations are misdemeanors? No, traffic violations aren't misdemeanors. It has to be like a really high level traffic violation to be a misdemeanor. It has to be like a reckless driving or something like that. They're just citations. That's the word I was looking for. Just like in Oregon, for example, if they decriminalized all drugs there, you can still get ticketed for having drugs on you, but it's just a citation. It's not criminal. It's not a misdemeanor anymore. You still get ticketed just like you would with traffic violations. Citations. Not criminal. Not misdemeanors. So is it 3 strikes thing? Why it's so high too? I mean, I guess that's what they're doing, but I'm pretty sure that's bullshit. It only, like, the strikes have to be within a certain period of time. It's been well over 7 years since he had his last DUI. There's no fucking way that it can still be charged that way. Like, they're basically, like, cops do this all the time too. They'll upcharge people so that it can be dropped down later, basically, to what the real charge is. But they're, like, far more likely to do this and stuff like that if it's someone who they decide they don't like or whatever, you know, like, whatever reason, probably racial in his case, because, you know, they could have done the same. They could have, like, if my friend did what Autumn did, for example, with cops, he would have had felonies all over. He'd have assaulting, like, he'd have fucking everything on there, guarantee it, right? He would have gotten charged with felonies. She absolutely did not. You know, like, it's just, there's obvious differences here that you can see. I was always, before I completed transition, especially, I was fucking terrified of the prison system and legal system in general. That was, like, sort of one of my nightmares, like, going to prison, male prison or something like that, and just the levels of discrimination could get to. Scary. Now I don't have to worry about it, but I mean, maybe I don't have to worry about it very much. Anyways, it would be a stretch because no one's going to be able to tell I'm trans unless they, like, looked up records on me or something. I don't know. Something like that. I mean, I guess they could find out, but, like, other than that, it's not like they're going to be able to tell, so I don't have to worry. Not like I used to. What games do I play? Depends on the night. Play League, Teamfight Tactics, Path Exile, Tribes of Midgard, Death Storm, Valheim. Do I like Cumtown? I don't know what Cumtown is. You love my ombre? This little buddy? You don't know the rules that well, just seems absurdly high. I think manslaughter bills have been cheaper than that. Probably have. Like 250K, that is... It's insane. For a DUI that hurt no one or anything, you know, like... all it did was mess up his car. Like, there's no damage, nothing, right? That's it. No one hurt, nothing. Just a low-level DUI. Not even excessive. Set it at 250K for that, that is pretty crazy. To me, I couldn't believe it. When he told me that, I was like, fuck, dude, you know? Obviously, nothing I can do for you there. But that sucks. Tribes of Midgard looks really good. It's been fun. I like it. One look at that jawline. I don't know what that means. Like my jawline. I like my jawline. I think I have a really great jawline. What I don't like, though, never have liked, is my chin. Ooh. Have I played Sea of Thieves? No. I actually have been wanting to play that one, though. That's on my list. I've been considering it. Seems kind of fun. Sea of Thieves. Oops. Let me. So good, but very toxic. Is the player base toxic? That's unfortunate. Ever considered playing War Thunder? I haven't heard of that one. What's that one? I am always looking for new games too. Let's check out what War Thunder is. This is an old one, huh? 2012. Let's see, it's on Steam. Ammos. Nah. Flight one. Nah. Pass. Ooh, it does run in VR though. I kind of like that since I do have I've got an Oculus. It's free to play. I think if I was going to play one like this, I'd go with, like, Warframe, probably. Some funny videos. Sea of Thieves looks good if you can get a full crew together. Yeah, I think if I had people to play with consistently, I'd like Sea of Thieves, but I don't know if I could get that. Do I know Willow? Yes, I know. I know Willow. Willow has raided me several times, and I have raided her several times. She was one of the people who, when I was banned on here, she talked about me most nights. And I appreciate it a lot. Helped to get me unbanned. You're worried about being 31? You're fine, dude. You're fine. 31. Nothing. Right? I'd be scared of 40. I'm not worried about 30. Nerdy 30. No big deal. 40, though, I'm a little scared of. 40, you can't be claiming young anymore, right? You're in your 30s, you're still young. You're 40, you're not young anymore, right? You're 30, you're not a kid anymore. You're still young, though. Just not a kid. Do the drugs to transition shrink the penis? Serious question. Yes. Being on estrogen, absolutely. Shrinks stuff down there. All of it. More so testicles, but also more so if you don't use it consistently. That's why if you're on the hormones, they recommend, you still regularly get hard, have sex, whatever. Do that shit, because if you don't, then it'll permanently shrink down. There'll be less skin. You're 29. Nothing wrong with that either. I mean, we're all old, I guess, compared to averages on Twitch or whatever, right? But not old in general. Old people haven't even heard of Twitch. They've got no fucking clue what it is, right? Millennials are just on the older end of Twitch, It's definitely dominated by the Zoomers. Just like TikTok. Streaming in general. All that stuff is very Gen Z dominated, but us millennials have a place here too. If you're a doom and gloom person, 40 is halfway to death on average. I guess. That is pretty dark. soon as you're born, you're dying. Jeez. Gee whiz, man. Does. Oops. I mean, sure, technically, I guess, dying, but aren't we also living? Thought about it a lot. Like, what I just finished watching last night or yesterday was Watchmen. I watched the whole series, not the movie. I saw the movie in theaters when I was a kid, but the series, and I really like it, and it did make me think a lot about mortality, those sorts of things. Also just finished Loki shortly, not too long ago as well, and it also made me think about that, with He Who Remains and whatnot. It's like, do you, like, people in theory, it's like, oh, didn't have to worry about dying. Like, wouldn't that be so great? Would it really, though? Would it really? Could you ever really appreciate anything? Like, would you ever really have any true motivation? Would you ever, like, you wouldn't have any fear. You wouldn't have anything. It would just seems almost more like a curse than, it's like a grass is always greener thing, right? And I think it's a thing people don't really truly consider, how much it could actually suck, Like, I think it's good we die. I think if I was given the choice, like, you can be immortal, but there's no take backs. Like, you have to be immortal. You will live at least as long as humanity exists, no matter what. No backing out. Or you can be immortal. I would say I'm not going to do that. Most people would probably do that, and I think they would seriously regret that. I think we're designed to die. And that's not a bad thing. People look at death too darkly. I think, like, you look at where we came from, like, how the universe started, the Big Bang, we were all in a condensed ball of matter, like, at most this large. Everything that exists was all this size. We were all together. Every molecule, it was one. And, like, energy can't be created or destroyed, right? Like, we're just going back to what we were. It's not a bad thing, really. Before we existed, there was nothing. Like, for us, we were nothing, right? Then we lived our lives, then we died, and we returned to nothing. Like, did you hate being nothing? No. You didn't hate that. You were nothing. and you can return to that, and maybe you'll return to something else again, your molecule, like whatever. It's just, I guess I just don't see it as like a bad thing. As dark, I'm not really afraid of death. Getting old though, that's kind of scary. That's one thing that, you know, that's why I believe in assisted suicide too. Do some people find the shrinkage enough to not go further with the transition? I mean, what do you mean? With that, are you talking about surgery? Because there's still options for surgery no matter how much shrinkage you have, but the more material you have to work with, the better and more options you have for surgery. But most people who are on, I mean, they don't really want to have sex if you're transitioning, but regularly doing that can be healthy. Bad for my dog? Why do you feel bad for her? Hi. She's my little buddy. She's so spoiled. You know? I don't have kids. I don't have a boyfriend. She gets like all the fucking attention in the world. Right, buddy? Come on. You're Gen X. Probably not too many Gen Xers on here, right? But forever is a long fucking time. It is. Forever is a long fucking time. The energy theory. Cool. Porn question. Are you good at chess? I haven't done it in a while, but I actually am ranked. In chess, I was on the chess team in school, and I had a pretty I would do tournaments and everything, the officially ranked ones and all that, and I did pretty solid. ELO. I forget which it's called. I think it's ELO, actually, though, right? Not ELO. Yeah. If it's greener, it probably has dog piss on it. What? Pronouns. Mine are she, her. Do I read chat? Yes. Obviously, what do you think I'm doing? This whole time I'm going through chat and reading it. Can I be your girlfriend? No. Ever used chess.com mobile app? No. I haven't played chess since I was a kid, you know? Since I did tournaments, so haven't done it. I used to be pretty good though. I won one pretty big tournament. Was I a guy before? How does that work? You're curious. Yes, I was a guy. I was born male. And how does it work? I mean, that's a complicated question. There's a lot of stages, a lot of things that go on there. And it's different for everyone, too. There's a lot of different kinds of trans people. There's a lot of different ways to transition. There's just complicated. Spectrum. Gender is a spectrum. Do I still have a pee-pee? No. Not anymore. That is gone. I had that removed a bit ago. Snip, snip. I look lovely. Thank you. Boken. Kabad? Boken Kabad? Hey, Fuzzy Buns. You know, like I said, Jisha, I remember nothing from just really, I mean, like, it was so long ago. Nothing anymore. I'm sure I could pick it up again if I played, but not in a long time. Where did it go? I mean, I had it made into a necklace. Always talk about this, you know? My penis necklace. Super cool. And was it big? No. It wasn't big. It was fucking huge. Grab another drink. Here. Sit. Stay. You're in charge. Stay. Good girl. You did such a good job, baby. Didn't you do a fantastic job? Great job. Her name's Zinni. Anyone want to throw out some Zinni emotes? Oh, I guess Fuzzy Buns already did some. My hair color, thanks. You're a follower of the Christian faith, but you're not religious. Okay. 24 centimeters at least. Don't you know? What does that mean? How long is 24 centimeters in inches? So, like, it's a lot. It's huge, right? Like 10-ish. Yeah, I was thinking like 11 or 12, so 10. Yeah, that's ridiculous, obviously. 9.5. Yeah, I would not have sex with someone with a dick that big. I'd be like, no. Not happening. I've known people with, like, really huge dicks, too, and they'll tell you, like, it's It's a curse. Not a good thing. Can't have sex with girls. Like, there's so few people who can handle dicks that size, right? Girls don't want it. Fuck. People have this, like, weird notion that girls want that shit. Big dicks. Girls don't fucking care. Vast majority of us do not give a shit. Guys are the ones who care. How old was I when it was chopped? I had it done September 2019. So that's less than 2 years ago now. I had my stage 2 in September of 2020. So that was 8 months ago, 10 months ago, yeah. And did it hurt? Yeah. It's a very difficult procedure to get through, for sure. Thanks, G-Sean, throwing out the zinnies. Way too big unless you're a horse. Yep. There's logistics with a big PP. Yep. Most of them are not good either. You're gonna encounter like anyone who like talks about themselves and that, like, oh, I've got like such big, like, obviously they don't, because you'd realize it's not a good thing unless you're doing porn. Sure, if you're a porn star, that's great, I guess, you know, because guys are the ones who are concerned about dick size, and guys are the ones watching porn. Reality, girls don't fucking care. I mean, as long as you don't have a 2-inch micro penis, or you don't have, you know, a fucking 9 or 10-inch monster, like, girls aren't gonna fucking care. What's the optimum length? I mean, length isn't really a concern as much as girth. They both are to an extent, I guess, but like, in any case, just more about how the person uses it. Like, I'd prefer 5 or 6 without being like super thick or something. Right around there is always had better sex with those people than anyone else by far. Have I had sex after it was chopped? Of course. Of course I've had sex. I couldn't wait to have sex after I had my surgery. Insecure boys, yep. You're back. You got timed out for sending caps. You got timed out for something else. You got timed out for being transphobic. If I had sex with both genders, yes. I used to only date females. Actually, I only started dating males at all once I like had already gotten through transition, really, or had been a long way along, and that's because I'm only into like straight guys, you know? I'm not gay myself, you know, like, not in the sense that you're saying, and like, I would never be attracted to like a gay guy. And a gay guy would never be attracted to me. But until you're like further along in transition, you're not going to have access to straight guys. So it was kind of more about availability than anything else, you know, like, I always was cool with either gender, really, but I was like early transition or pre-transition, you know. I got plenty of girls, and that was fine. And then once I started getting through transition and stuff, like, girls were far more rare, but plenty of guys. How long was the recovery? Long. I mean, technically I'm still in recovery. Do guys hit on me often? Yes. Obviously. I hit on all the time. Online and when I'm out and about, you know. When did you figure out you were trans? I figured out I was trans when I was 13. Before that, I didn't know what trans was. I was obviously it. I just didn't know. I was not aware of it. Lack of education in the subject. I assumed everyone just wanted to be a female, that they just didn't talk about it. It's just, you know, obviously females are better. Like, of course, everyone wants to be female was my reasoning. They're just accepting that they're males, right? You know, that was how I looked at it, I guess. And then by 13, I realized I was very, very different than all my male friends. Like, they weren't thinking that way. That was just me. Became very apparent as they started, like, you know, kids started going through puberty or whatever, like, getting more into the sexual stuff is like when it became very clear that I was not like them. So I had to research online and all that. Like, why am I constantly thinking myself as female? Found out what trans was like, oh shit, this is absolutely me. Hi, my name is Straight, yeah. How long, or trans women are hot, yeah. Yes. Some people are into it, right? Can we hear your man voice? I mean, for a big enough tip, sure. I haven't practiced it in a while, so probably won't be very good, but if someone really wanted to hear it and tip me, guess I could do it. Could give it my best go. What did I do for my voice? It's amazing. It took a lot of training, a lot of work. Forever, my voice was what held me back from transition. I wasn't able to complete transition because of my voice. I could pass on looks, all that, but as soon as I spoke, people knew they identified me as male. They would like change pronoun, whatever. So I was like very clearly just a trans person, basically. And because I had a lot of vocal dysphoria. It was I had too much anxiety to even practice it alone. It's very stressful. Eventually, I got on the right medication, though. Actually treated my ADHD. And right away, once I did that, I started my voice training. And I got through it in about a month and a half. I just powered through it. I practiced like 12 hours every day, minimum. That's what my entire days were. All self-taught. And that got me there. To a place that I'm now happy with. Voice has never tripped me up anymore. Like, I've never been worried about it since. Feel confident in my voice, and since I've done the voice work, I've never once been misgendered. No, like, not outside of someone online trying to be intentionally transphobic. You know, I've never once gotten a he or anything since then, so obviously it worked. Hi there, King Artist. What's up? It's transgender or transsexual. The correct terminology, transgender. Transsexual used to be in use. It's an outdated terminology now that is no longer used. Considered correct. Since you can't change your sex, right? Change gender. Sex is different. It's just, and not only that, we kind of look at things as more of a spectrum too. Just not really used anymore. The same with how they don't really, there's a lot of terminology that's outdated now, you know, like it used to be androgynous, used to be a thing, and now it's non-binary. But non-binary also covers other things as well. And like, it used to be genetic girls was like the terminology, GGs or genetic girls, and now it's like cis female. A lot of terminology in general has sort of changed in that regard over the years. Stuff that as knowledge and whatnot has increased, we've sort of archived those things, you know, no longer used. STRD. I do have a video up there of it if you do really want to see or hear my masculine voice. I mean, I would do it on stream. I'm just not going to do it for anyone who asks, right? Who is your best friend? That's a hard one. I mean, I have two really close friends, Alex and Autumn. These are my two closest friends. They have both been on stream before. Also, yeah. ADHD can be a pain, especially if you're on the spectrum too, yeah. Absolutely again. JRG. Hey. Thank you. I appreciate that. What am I doing tonight for that? I feel like I need to do something and just chatting. I would like to do just more, maybe just chatting streams. I don't know. I could do. Just trying to think of ways to mix it up or something. And what could I do for subs potentially? Just do something though. I should like. I can dance. I could dance. Or what else? Could write my name too. Write your name on there. Yeah, but I'm thinking like in general, JRG, you know, like I would like to do something, right? I don't know what the best idea would be. You're happy with it, thank you. I mean, that's fair, you guys, but like still, it's more, well, part of it is for me, but also part of it can be for people other than you too, you know, to encourage gifting. But it also, it does make me feel better as well when I'm doing something, because like in general, those, like, it makes me slightly uncomfortable, right? Like just getting compliments, gifts, all that stuff, you know, it's like, so it feels like I need to do something, right? Otherwise, I don't know, just it makes me feel better about it, right? Where am I from? I'm from Idaho. Not a very trans-friendly state. Why wouldn't you just stay a boy? I mean, that's a whole thing to unpack right there, right? Lots of reasons. Do you have a boyfriend? No. Sex orientation is who you're attracted to. Gender is who you are regardless of attraction. Okay, there we go. Your girlfriend is transgender. Did I face problems when I decided to change my sexuality? I didn't change my sexuality. Changed my gender. And yes, there were lots. I had lots of hurdles and issues along the way for sure. Not an easy or short journey. Oh, you always assume transsexual meant someone who's undergone sex reassignment surgery. Yeah, no, that's definitely not true. Transsexual, what it used to mean was just anyone who, you can be like transsexual non-op or pre-op or whatever. It just meant someone who was, you know, MTF or FTM, male to female or female to male, like that stuff. But we don't use it anymore, right? What does transgender mean? Saw it in the title. I mean, it means I'm transgender. So I was born male. Now I'm female. Simplest way to describe it, I guess, right? And yes, you're right. Bugenbauer, it would be a post-op trans person. You like my dress? Thank you. I like it too. You are educating a lot of people. I love it. So support you in doing so. But yeah, for your stream, I get you want to do something regarding subs, etc. Yeah, that is what I was thinking, you know? Just for them and for me and just all that stuff. Like, I like having that. Wait, you're a boy and now girl, so now you both. No, I'm just a female now. I'm legally and in every way a female. I have a vagina, everything. Like, just a female now. Born male, though. Serious question. When was the first time you realized you were trans and not just dressing up, etc.? I mean, I realized I was trans before I dressed up at all. Like, I was just talking about this earlier, but I'll try to give a really short thing of it for you guys. I guess, like, I always was thinking of myself as female as a kid, but I just assumed everyone was thinking that way, so I didn't really thought they just weren't talking about it, you know? Girls are better, all that. And then 13's when I really realized I was different and looked into it on the internet. I was like, oh my god. I had no idea what trans was, and I was like, this is obviously me, though. I'm obviously transgender. And so that is when I realized it beyond any doubt. And yeah, I told my parents. I worked up the courage to tell my parents, and because I wanted to start hormones and do that stuff, because if you can start it when you're young, pre-puberty, all that, like, the results in your life will be so much easier. And I knew that, and so I asked them to wanting to do that, and their reaction was to have me kidnapped and taken away to an inpatient facility in Utah. Where I had to spend like 3 months. And yeah, so obviously that didn't go well. Parents are conservative, religious. But I didn't let that deter me, obviously. You know, I just bided my time. I knew I had to wait. I was never in the slightest unsure of being trans either. I always knew beyond any slight amount of doubt. But I also knew I just clearly wasn't going to happen. In the situation that I was in, I just had to be patient and wait. So I never spoke about it or talked about it again until college with my first serious girlfriends. And once we started getting serious and stuff, I had to tell her. It's like, I can't just, not tell you. So I did, and she thankfully accepted me. And that's when I got to actually start transition. I just didn't have... It's really hard to get that, like, first person. It's really important to have, like, someone in your life that you're close to who supports you. Without that, it's very terrifying, for sure. Once I had that, it was all much easier. I told everyone, then, got out, changed name on Facebook, whatever, it turned into, before I even did that, it turned into gossip I grew up in like a small all Mormon town. Definitely spreading like wildfire everywhere, And I was fine with that. I didn't give a fuck because all I needed was just, that core little support group, I guess. As long as I've got a few people on my side, I don't give a fuck, right? I don't care what other people think beyond that, so. Okay. Let me catch up again. I don't look like a boy. Thanks. Well, sure you're beautiful. Thank you. Do you recommend anything to someone figuring out things as such? It relates to the previous question. Well, hopefully my explanation and my experiences helped. Beyond that, it's everyone's experiences are going to be a little different, and gender is a spectrum. I'm definitely on the extreme. I had severe dysphoria. So there was zero doubt for me ever, and I was, all I could think of was, like, getting rid of my fucking genitals especially, but also more than that, just wanting, because it was like before even puberty or even I was concerned or even aware of those things, just wanting to be a female, and like I think it's something you just right? If you don't just know it, then I don't know. I can't speak to other people's experiences there, really, right? For me, I absolutely knew, never any doubt. It was super obvious. And if you're not that way, I can't say you're not trans or anything. Like, everyone's gonna have their own experiences, but I think when it comes down to it, you'll know, right? If you're thinking, if it's constantly plaguing your mind, if you're considering it as a possibility every single fucking day, if you're thinking about these things, yeah, you're probably trans. You're probably in denial. Like, you're trying to rationalize it away because it's scary and it sucks being trans, right? So, distinct possibility there. Because I can tell you, like, certainly never a day went by, let alone even, like, more than a few minutes, really, or just almost every interaction in my life, pre-transition, like, early, was plagued by being trans, right? Every time I was meeting someone, every time I just had to go out into public at all, just constant thoughts of, like, my appearance, how people were perceiving me, like, all, or just, I mean, it's hard to explain just how pervasive those thoughts can be, how they seep into everything. Every thought you have is somehow centered around that general thing. And if that sounds like you, then yeah, you're probably trans. Like, but if that isn't you, like, if it's really, you might not be. Might just be I mean, technically, cross-dressers, I think, are trans too. I mean, it's a spectrum, right? There's gender fluid. There's lots of things out there. Doesn't have to be defined, but like, if it's pervasive like that, yeah, your only solution is probably transition. If it's not, then could be other things. I would recommend, reading about other experiences. Whatever, read about gender fluid people. Read about cross-dressers. See if any of their stories or whatever connect with you more, if mine doesn't. Because I'm on the extreme end, right? And just because you're not on that extreme end doesn't mean you aren't necessarily in the trans spectrum, but yeah, differing degrees there. Where's my question? You weren't mean, I don't think. Have I severed ties with my parents? No. We're on good terms now. I see them every year. I go and visit them. We're all good. Can you have a baby if you are a girl and boy? I can. I could actually, theoretically, carry my own biological child. I have sperm frozen. And if I had a donor egg and a uterus transplant, which they can do, they have done for 2 different trans people already, I could carry my own biological child. What is your advice to a parent to a kid who thinks she's trans? It's my best way to help my kid. Who smart taught. Listen to them. Take them seriously. Oh my God. That's what I would say. Because I can tell you as a kid, like being trans, telling my parents or anyone that, like, it was fucking terrifying. The last thing you want to be as a kid is trans, right? Like, not fun. All you want is just, like, to fit in, to be liked, whatever. That's what kids want. You don't want to be an outcast, a pariah, like, have your life just be on hard mode rather than easy. I mean, like, it's like a massive difficulty increase. Like, no one wants that. So if they're telling you that, then take them seriously. And if they want to be on hormone therapy, please get them on it. Because it's something that's very reversible and, is life-changing. The amount of, like, all the shit it saves down the road and just the amount of dysphoria, everything just, like, makes life so much easier, better, everything. And, if they want to transition, just support them. I actually know someone who I do want to have on stream. She transitioned here in Idaho in high school, which I think is fucking awesome. Her parents supported her, and, like, I'm super jealous of that, honestly. Like, I don't get jealous of females or anything like that, but one thing I do get jealous of is, like, kids who were lucky enough to have parents who took them seriously when they told them they were trans, rather than sending them away like mine did or whatever, like, life-changing. If I had that, my life would have been so different. I mean, I wouldn't have been the person I am today, all that, but still would have been better. Let's be real. It would have been a lot better. I know that. tell us something positive and happy about transitioning. Positive and happy, huh? There's a lot that's positive and happy. I mean, like, accomplishing something like this, like, it does feel really good, right? It feels like it's something you wouldn't normally appreciate, right? Like, people who are just cis, they don't appreciate being the gender they are or whatever, but, like, really makes you appreciate a lot of things in life that you couldn't experience, you didn't have access, whatever. Like, makes you appreciate things. Like, there's it's more satisfying, you know, something that you had to work for, right? Something about that inherently is going to make things more satisfying in general. And you learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about a lot of things. And it definitely makes you braver, right? To do something like this, you gotta fucking battle some shit, right? You gotta be brave with some really scary shit. A lot of things. And so, yeah, there's definitely positive things, right? It will make you a better person, almost without a doubt. You can't make it through it without coming out a better person. The other side, right? Inevitable. Normal? How boring? Yeah. Uterus transplants are a thing. They are a thing. It's kind of crazy, huh? You not mean normal like that. You guys know what I meant, right? Like, I'm the same always. Yeah. I don't I don't really know how to explain it. Well, almost like it's just something you are, right? You have to accept the fact you won't be able to understand it. It's like a white person trying to say they understand the black experience or whatever. Like, you're not gonna understand it, right? You can't know what their stuff is about or what things are like for them. And that's okay. Doesn't mean you can't still have empathy or try to learn or whatever, but at its core, you're obviously not going to understand the feelings, right? Those feelings the people are having. You're not going to have them yourself, so you're not going to understand them. But you can still try. Like, there's levels of understanding too, right? Depends on how capable of empathy you are, I think, how well you can understand. You're never going to be able to completely understand, right? But you can at least try and understand on some level. There's got to be things you can associate with in your own life, right? Just stuff that, like, maybe, like, isn't there anything that someone in your life maybe really likes or feels strongly about, and you just don't feel the same way, or it's stuff that you really enjoy that other people in your life don't feel the same way? Like, you know, maybe there's a game you really love and your best friend hates it, or whatever, you know, like it's I don't know. There is a lot of negative dialogue about around being trans and non-binary in general. There's a lot of happiness along the journey and the destination. It's true. I think there's some level of danger there too, because there's one thing I've seen people saying is like being trans is trendy now, right? And they're like trying to accuse kids or young people or whatever, like, oh, they want to be trans because it's hip now, right? It's like the thing that's currently happening. They want to get famous off that, or they want to do blah blah blah. It's like, no. It's it's not good. It's not fun. Like, you come out stronger, sure, but I just don't think that sort of mentality, or like, it's a hard line, because I think it's a dangerous thing to start looking at that way, as like being a